Today I shall take a lecture on hematology. This hematology subject is divided into three main parts. One is anemia and related disorders. Number two, leukemia and myeloproliferative disorders, immunoproliferative disorders, and the third one is bleeding disorders. So first of all, I shall discuss anemia and related disorders. Now, the definition of anemia. Anemia means a reduction of hemoglobin concentration per unit volume of blood. This anemia can be classified in two different ways. One is morphological classification and the second one is etiological classification. Now, morphological classification. Morphologically, anemia is divided into three groups: microcytic hypochromic anemia, macrocytic anemia, and normocytic normochromic anemia. And etiologically, again, anemia is divided into three groups. One is a deficiency of certain essential factors. The second one is blood loss anemia. And the third one is dyshemopoietic anemia. Now I shall correlate etiological anemia with the morphological anemia. First of all, deficiency anemia. The most important one is iron deficiency anemia. Now, iron deficiency anemia is clinically, it is the patient will complain to you severe weakness, lethargy, restlessness, sleeplessness, and smooth tongue. And in the laboratory, you will diagnose this anemia. You will do first of all hemoglobin estimation. Invariably, it will be low, and then the peripheral blood film study. In the peripheral blood film study, you will find red cell is microcytic, hypochromic, teardrop cell, pencil-shaped cell, and a lot of target cells. The other elements, that is the platelets and WBC, are normal. And now the next test is bone marrow. Bone marrow will aspirate bone marrow, but not for study, but for iron staining. This iron stain will be low. Then the biochemical test. Biochemical here, the serum iron, ferritin level is reduced and percentage saturation of iron is reduced, but there is increased iron binding capacity. So this is iron deficiency anemia. Now you may be asked in your exam, in Viva exam, that is, what are the essential factors that are required for RBC maturation? These essential factors are some metals, vitamins, hormones, and others. The metals are iron, copper, cobalt, manganese, and zinc. And vitamins are vitamin B1, B6, vitamin B12, and folic acid. And the hormones are thyroxine and corticosteroid hormone and erythropoietin hormone. So these are the essential factors. The last one is a protein. You must take protein-rich diet for maturation of RBC. Next, deficiency factor is macrocytic anemia. Morphologically, it is macrocytic anemia, and deficiency it is B12 or folic acid deficiency. These macrocytic anemia are grouped into megaloblastic macrocytic anemia and non-megaloblastic macrocytic anemia. Megaloblastic macrocytic anemia is due to the deficiency of vitamin B12 and folic acid. Folic acid is more important than the vitamin B12. These occurs in children in growing age, in lactating and pregnant mother, the deficiency of vitamin B12 and folic acid. Now, how will you diagnose such a case in a laboratory? In the laboratory, you must estimate hemoglobin. Invariably, it will be low, and you must estimate ESR, and it will be raised. Now, peripheral blood film study. In peripheral blood film study, you will find normocytic or macrocytic RBC, usually macrocytic, and normochromic or mildly hypochromic RBC, and you will find hypersegmented neutrophil, and platelet count may be normal or it may reduced. So, in peripheral blood film, the things which are important: macrocytic usually, or it may be very rarely normocytic, and hypersegmented neutrophil, and platelet count may be normal or may be less than normal, that is reduced. Bone marrow study. In bone marrow study, the bone marrow is hypercellular and there is reversal of the ME ratio. ME means myeloid and E means erythroid ratio. Erythroid cells are raised than the myeloid cells. And you will find giant metamyelocyte in the bone marrow. So, hypercellular bone marrow with reversal of the myeloid erythroid ratio and giant metamyelocyte. Then you will do some biochemical test. You will do test for folic acid assay or vitamin B12 assay, and you will also do another test, Schilling test. So this is all about megaloblastic macrocytosis. Then aplastic anemia. Aplastic anemia, if all the cellular elements of blood are reduced, we call it aplastic anemia. That is, in this case, you will find anemia, leukopenia, and thrombocytopenia. Now, what are the causes of this aplastic anemia? The causes are drugs, a lot of cancer chemotherapeutic agents, and some antibiotics like chloramphenicol, some non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like phenylbutazone, oxyfenbutazone can cause aplastic anemia. And sometimes steroid may cause aplastic anemia. And other etiological agents are irradiation. Irradiation causes aplastic anemia. Infection. Viral hepatitis B can cause aplastic anemia. So these are the causes of aplastic anemia. Now, diagnosis of aplastic anemia in the laboratory. Hemoglobin is reduced, ESR is raised, and peripheral blood film study. In peripheral blood film study, you will find pancytopenia. That is reduction of RBC, WBC, and platelet. So your comment will be pancytopenia. Now bone marrow study. Bone marrow study, the there may be no cell trials. That is, you may not find any tissues. You may not find any bony fragments, or sometimes you may find 1 or 2 drops of blood. Sometimes you may find cellular elements. If you find cells, now the bone marrow will be hypocellular and there is no change in the Me ratio. And you may find lymphocyte may be raised, relatively raised. Lymphocyte may be relatively raised in the bone marrow. So hypocellular bone marrow, and in this case you will see that the bone marrow is flooded with fat cell, hypocellular bone marrow with increased fat cell. That is, the cellular elements of RBC series, WBC series, and platelets are reduced, but there is relative rise of mature cells of lymphoid series. So this is all about aplastic anemia. Now, hemolytic anemia. Definition of hemolytic anemia: if the lifespan of RBC is reduced, we call it hemolytic anemia. Hemolytic anemia again is classified into two groups. One is hemolytic anemia due to intracorpuscular defect, another is hemolytic anemia due to extracorpuscular defect. In intracorpuscular defect, there may be congenital or it may be acquired. Only one known example to you is the acquired, is the paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. The congenital hemolytic anemia due to intracorpuscular defect are membrane defect, enzyme defect, and hemoglobin defect. Membrane defect examples are hereditary spherocytosis, eleptocytosis, and stomatocytosis. In enzyme defect, there may be deficiency of glucose 6-phosphate pyruvate and glucokinase reduction. In hemoglobin defect, again these are grouped into two groups. One is hemoglobinopathy and another is thalassemia syndrome. In hemoglobinopathy, the examples are sickle cell anemia, hemoglobin E disease, hemoglobin D Punjab. In thalassemia syndrome, there may be alpha and beta thalassemia. Both of them may be alpha major or minor, beta major or minor. Now, what you will find in the peripheral blood film study of a case of thalassemia. In thalassemia, you will find changes in the RBC, not in the platelet or in the WBC. The changes are hypochromia, microcytosis, target cell, cystocytes, and nucleated cell. So there are 5 things. One is hypochromic, microcytic, target cell, cystocytes, and nucleated cell. Now, how will you diagnose such a case? Confirmatory diagnosis of such a case in the laboratory. Again, this is hemoglobin electrophoresis. Now, hemolytic anemia due to extracorpuscular defect. Again, this is divided into two groups. One is immune mediated, another is non-immune mediated. Immune mediated again are of two groups. One is warm antibody and that is cold antibody. So in both the cases, you will find changes in the RBC only, not in WBC or in the platelet. Now, the non-immune mediated hemolytic anemia, the causes are March hemoglobinuria, which occurs in soldiers and police, and microangiopathic hemolytic anemia in prosthetic valve or in some infectious disease like Plasmodium malaria infection or dengue infection. Now, diagnosis. I have already told the diagnosis of hemolytic anemia, peripheral blood film study, and the confirmatory diagnosis is hemoglobin electrophoresis. So, this is all about anemia. Thank you all.